Hey, and welcome back to another video. Wouldn't it be great if you could see how your marketing campaigns are performing against your competitors? Or even better, how your campaigns are actually outperforming great players out there? Well, today I want to show you something very cool. Competitive Insights. Competitive Insights is a competitor watch list for email senders. You can add a competitor or a great brand, and Bert will show you an email panel's estimate of what those brands are actually sending. Their volume, their cadence, inbox placement, read rate, audience overlap, and the actual campaigns themselves, with subject lines and even some creative screenshots, side by side, with your own Bert message sending. The competitor data that we're going to be looking at is not a Bert network of data, and it's not a seed list or an inbox placement test. No. It comes from live form consumer panels that observe samples of real inboxes, and as it's scaled up, fetches on every single page with no bird-side copy or cache. Now, this is great because it allows you to actually monitor exactly how your marketing is performing against these big brands out there. So let's have a look. When you log into your Bird platform and we navigate to email, you'll be able to see Competitive Insights right here at the additional tools. Now, when you load up Competitive Insights for the first time, you'll have a blank page. I've already added a couple of brands just to kind of start showcasing what is scopable here. Now, note that Competitive Insights currently is included within your first 7 days of a subscription. After that, it's a priced add-on for which our sales team is more than happy to have a further discussion about. Now, you have the option to add additional competitors by going at the top right corner. So we currently have Nike and Lululemon added already. So let's have Gymshark is available. So we add Gymshark as well. Now, as we see, the overview will update, and I'm just going to walk you through how the page is made up. So first and foremost, we'll see notable campaigns. So these are campaigns that are worth having just a look at. These can be huge sends, big opens, or specific campaigns that just had an impact for this specific brand. So for Nike, we can have this Absolute Scene campaign that they sent back on August 26th, which is interesting because it was 59 times its usual volume. So it reached approximately 8.6 million people, had a read rate of around 7.6%, inbox rate very good, 98.9%, and only a spam rate of 1.1. Now, as you can see, we take screenshots of this email and display them to you. If there's any personal data in any of them, those are already blurred out by the panel itself that actually finds these details. But it can give you a good understanding of what the actual layout or the type of email is that they're actually going. Now, we can have a quick second look at one of Lululemon. So they also had one that's a larger volume over what they usually do. You can see similar rates on their end. And it just gives you a good indication of what it is that's happening out there within specific brands that are of your interest. Now, in the event that you want to dive deeper into a specific brand to learn more, we have the brand page, which we're going to look at in a bit. Now, then we can also see the latest sends. So for each brand that we've selected, we can actually see that the latest brands have happened. And here we've got a good example from Gymshark. So while we have the panel giving us the actual email data that's out there, the panel hasn't actually captured a creative screenshot for this yet, hence us only being able to get the data that has been available. So for example, the read rate isn't there yet, but we do have a good impression that their spam rate is a bit higher than what you see for other competitors out there. Now, here we're going to start seeing actual comparisons of how these brands are comparing against our own brands. My aviary shop hasn't actually sent quite a lot of messages yet, so therefore the metrics are pretty skewed versus what they have. But it should give you a good indication here in terms of how you can actually see the volume happening, the volume trends. We can see specific dates that were interesting for specific competitors, and especially moving up to big events such as Christmas or Black Friday. This can be very valuable of you to start targeting your messaging right at the moment that your competitors actually aren't reaching out to your same customer pool. Now, then we have just the overall brand comparison. So here we have a screen overview of the different brands that we have selected. We can see the estimated sends that they've done in the last 30 days, the cadence per week, the inbox placement, and the estimated read rate. So all giving you a good indication, again, once you have your own volume, that you can start seeing how your brands are or your campaigns are performing against the bigger brands. Now, let's have a quick look at Nike's brand page. So we're gonna select the campaign and go to the brand page. And here we can have a much deeper look into individual brand data. So here again, we can say that all of the data is fetched through these panels. And it gives you a good indication of how these brands are actually performing. So we can see the actual cents that they're doing in the estimated cents in the last 30 days, their cadence, the inbox page, but also again, where they do like and don't like to send specific emails. So we can actually see that they have a very clean calm period between 3 and 6 a.m. Where they just don't tend to send any emails across the week. Now we can even see a split of their mailbox providers. So where do we see that the mailbox providers' individual performance is looking at. And then we have a deeper campaign feed. So we can really start looking into a larger volume of campaigns. We have notable flags for specific volumes. So in this case, it's a 20% off campaign, giving you just that full overview of how they're performing. Now, especially for a brand like Nike, it's very interesting to start seeing how they approach this on a global level. Here we can see Japanese campaigns, which have just a completely different setup than the Western campaigns, giving you just a good indication of what the capabilities are and how they are deciding on handling their marketing. Now, if we go back to the competitive insights, we also have the compare. So here we can dive even deeper head to head in terms of how actual performance is happening between these brands that we've selected and our own branding. So here we have that full overview on an individual basis for all of these core metrics for your brands. Now, for now, competitive insights is only available within the dashboard. We are exploring of opening up the APIs as well at a later stage, but more to follow that at a later stage. For now, I wish you a lot of fun having a look through the product, having a click around and seeing how your data is actually performing against your competitors. And if you've got any questions, our support team is always happy to assist. As always, I want to say thanks for watching and happy sending.